Okay, so after a minute or two,
we don't have to do that because Alien Resurrection isn't on the timeline in the book.
Oh, is it?
No.
Nice.
Oh my God.
So,
It's not canon.
you guys, after a few minutes, the elevator comes back down and opens.
Who, you?
Yeah. Almost.
I was like,
If you
I
would.
did not.
Sorry,
Sorry,
you just hear the voice in the elevator
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
If you would, please join me on the bridge.
Okay.
Oh, thanks for
Incoming.
your request. That wasn't what we were planning on doing already.
You realize he's
knows
not
that.
trying
It's
to
just
be
that,
rude.
like, Angel, I just wish more of them were like you.
I talk the same way.
You don't sound like it right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, thank you.
Listen, I think you're aptly named. Your model's brilliant. That's all I'm saying.
Faintest of smiles.
Okay, you guys get in the elevator?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would like to occasionally check comms to make sure that, like, check in with them to make sure that comms are still working on different levels of the ship.
Yeah, but wouldn't we want like a rotating, like, 10-minute check-in or something like
Yeah,
that?
10-minute check-in.
Okay.
You guys
All's
get an order for 10-minute check-in.
10 minutes and all's well. That kind of thing.
He orders you to order them to do 10 minutes.
Me, then Vibes, then Zuni, then me, then Vibes, then Zuni. I think that should be everyone who needs to check in on comms.
What happened,
He's like, I'm right here.
I worry about him.
After the first 10 minutes, I'll have a cigar.
Alright, we go to the bridge.
Yep.
That's bad for your health.
Elevator goes all the way up.
I'm not going to live long enough.
Doors open. You get out on the opposite side. You get in, and there's
I'm not going to finish.
brightly lit, white, super clean hallway. There's a little bit of a comms area, and it goes straight to the bridge. And standing basically just a couple minutes in, or a couple meters in from the bridge in the hallway,
Okay.
is short blonde hair, human male, human looking male in a blue jumpsuit with a red stripe down each side.
Name tag?
He's just standing there. No, he doesn't have a name tag. He's just basically standing there at attention.
What's your identification?
Samson.
Now that I can actually see him not through a camera, can I like identify the model or anything?
He's a fairly recent model, but he's not brand new like you.
Oh, I'm newer than he is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow. Cool. I think, yeah, after getting the name out, I'm just going to kind of look at the marshal and wherever his badge is to see if he's going to step in and apply the three law.
Just doing something for a second.
Yeah.
Seeing that you're engaging the synth, I'll just step right past him and go up to the ship logs.
Okay.
And try to access cargo manifest and the latest log entry if there is one.
Okay. You walk past him, and he nods as you approach him, and he takes one step to the side to make sure you can comfortably get around him in the little hallway, and steps back and just lets you walk to the bridge. The bridge, everything is looks like everything's in Russian. You're familiar enough with the basic layout that you can. Do you have?
Well, my first name is Vlad. So,
Do
do I have what contact?
you have any training in contact at all?
I do.
Okay, so yeah, you can navigate even with not having the right menus and whatnot.
Oh, I use the settings and change the menus to English.
Okay. It takes you a moment to do that, but you can do that.
Slick.
What you do notice is as you step to the bridge and you can see out, you are nose to nose with a gigantic
Alien. No.
and it punches through the window. No, it's,
Boom.
you see there's a large orb of a ship in front of you, and it's just slightly askew, and around it is a crescent shape that you can see, and the gantry is connected right below you to one side of the crescent shape.
Oh no.
And as you're up there,
So
What corporation is this ship?
who are you asking?
Just say it out loud.
It's a
Point out
space
the-
jockey.
So I'll issue commands to the synth and tell them that on behalf of the powers granted to me by the Office of Colonial Marshals, I order you to respond to all commands given from superior officers or individuals who identify themselves with said authority.
Can I see your credentials, Marshal?
Yeah, I just from underneath the shirt pull out the badge first, so he can see the actual physical badge, and then with one hand on my firearm, approach him because the shotgun's slung, and then pull out my actual credentials and kind of reach out so that he can see the official insignias.
He doesn't move. He nods at the badge. You approach, and he stays calm, and he looks and reads the badge. And your authority is recognized, Marshal. What can I do for you?
Well,
I'm just waiting for it. I'm scared.
Angel's actually going to walk up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
as soon as like he goes up and he says that, and she's gonna not get in front of the marshal, but just kind of walk up buddy style right next to him and say, "Samson, I'm Angel. Can you please explain where the crew is right now?"
They are aboard the ship we're docked with.
What's the identity of the ship that we're docked with? Why did you depart from your schedule?
We don't know the identity of the ship, and departing from our schedule is to keep us here able to search and salvage the ship.
It's fucking huge.
Without having to share claim.
You found this ship just sitting here.
Yes.
Do you know who it belongs to?
Not as of yet.
Name, designation, anything?
There are no markings on the exterior of the ship.
Your entire crew went over.
Yes. We were unaware of your presence, or of course, some would have stayed.
Of course. But interesting nonetheless. Do they routinely leave you by yourself?
I can monitor the ship. That's my function.
I like that you're doing that. And you have an actual
I know.
keyboard, you know.
Pantomime.
Shit happens if I actually touch it.
Can we get a full count of the crew? How many?
I'm sure Samson, can you assist?
There are 10 science and exploration officers and
I pull up
6
personnel while we're
security.
saying that.
Okay. And it matches.
Checks out.
What kind of armaments does the crew have?
It should.
with
He's
them?
compliant.
Most of them have standard issue, and it's the People's Republic version of the the AK-43A1. You know.
Are you maintaining constant comm contact with them?
I was until about 4 hours ago.
What happened 4 hours ago?
Everything's a stinger reveal for Amanda.
Humans, calm.
She's down there freaking out.
Once they were equipped and crossed the gantry, shortly after entering the ship, I lost signal.
So you weren't able to tell them we are here.
No, they don't know that you're here. And it won't be, I expect, a problem that you're here. You're here with proper authority.
Could you attempt to open up communications for us on a live channel?
I have been trying to contact them nonstop since the interference broke our company.
Can you please patch me in?
Yeah.
You hear my character being like,
He
4
motions
hours?
and walks over toward one of the comm panels.
I follow.
And he shows you there's been, every 5 minutes on the dot has been an attempt.
A ping, ping,
Yeah.
ping, ping, ping.
And you can see that the last communications are them just talking about the architecture is incredible. Everything in here is just so grandiose. It's dark. This is a technology we've not seen before. And then it gradually just gets more and more garbled. And it seems like after they were maybe 30 meters into the ship, there's interference. The ship is too shielded for them.
I don't assume he had vitals on them or that sort of technology to monitor.
Well, he did until
And it lost.
Yeah.
Same way.
Can we find out where we are?
In space.
Yeah, star chart.
I thought that was his answer, too. I was like, just being a real asshole.
No, I was asking the question. Like, you mean in space?
You as a person should have said that. That's what happened.
Let me just triangulate.
in a nebula. Just
We're on a wavelength. I see.
this is outside of the red space, south of Feifei,
Feifei?
Love that name.
Feifei.
which is a
There's
listening
predator space
post
on there.
for the UPP.
So we're in the 3-world empire right now.
Right, which is not in their domain,
Vibes.
Yeah.
which is why they are
He
here
did
to
Japanese
oversee.
art. Yeah.
Should have been bad vibes.
Well, honestly, the homeworld is a
He,
safe
Yeah.
he
location anyway.
explains to you that they maintain a listening post. It's not a closely guarded secret.
Yeah.
It's just an observation and surveillance post for signals and deep space telemetry and whatnot. And they kept getting strange signals from inside this nebula.
Sorry.
So they sent someone over here to take a look at it, saw that there was something here, and they have been sent to see what it is and to salvage it.
Okay. So yeah, I'll bring it up. I'll even send it out to everyone's data pads if I can. I'll just show them where we are.
Okay. It's
But
fairly
you're-
close to the core.
You're just a couple of light years away from that listening post.
Yeah, that is somewhat close to the core.
Oh, there's good shit, and there's that. That's not that good shit.
Interesting.
Earth?
What's
That place.
our distance from that listening post and any other official entities that could either arrive or interfere with us?
How soon could we be messed with or obtain backup?
The listening post is not equipped for that kind of response. They could maybe launch a rescue in something like a shuttle, but it's not a shipyard, or it's literally a post where people are sent to be forgotten about and analyze deep space telemetry.
So could we extrapolate where the nearest enemy might come from, or how soon we could get backup from anybody friendly to us?
It would probably take about a week for you guys to get backup jumping out here. You could probably get response from somebody in the UPP within about 3 or 4 days, because you're basically just outside. If you were to call the Japanese consortium, or whatever they're called,
Anglo-Japanese.
the Anglo-Japanese government, you don't know, because you don't know where their folks are, but they might be able to respond quickly too. However, they're also not your people, so you don't know how they would respond to you guys being in their space.
So
Because there's no air in space.
thermite the gantry. Wait for help.
Yeah.
In their space that they claim is their space.
Yeah. Well, it's not airspace. It's space.
2-6 to Bravo team, you set up?
Roger that. We are basically just sitting here waiting for all hell to break loose or not.
All
Brutus is out of whiskey.
Brutus didn't
Did
have
we-
any whiskey.
Did we
Five doesn't know
have
what
live
he's talking
comms,
about.
or we just activated it?
Now we're actually right now.
Okay, so you should give them a...
Yeah.
Amanda should have been bad vibes just because anytime something was going, oh fuck!
The
Give them a
the
sit rep.
synthetic is cooperating.
Oh, that's new.
The entire crew of this ship.
His name is Samson.
Yes, it is. Let's clear comms, please. The entire crew is aboard the other ship. It is of an unknown make, and it's fucking huge.
That's not suspicious.
You got anything down there?
A
long
Appears to be quite
hallway.
ancient too.
There's
sentry
a-
gun, basically another sentry gun, and 2 jumpy people. And
So what I
me.
sent with you.
Yep.
Excellent.
That's it.
Okay.
Did you set up the sentry gun yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
All right. Stand by. 2-6 out.
Standing by. Thanks, Dad.
Realizing we're going to be here longer, I pull out the entire pack of cigars and start handing them out.
Not healthy.
Not healthy. The medic says that's not healthy.
While you've been waiting for them to return, have you conducted any sort of scans or research on the vessel?
I can only scan the outside of the vessel. It's incredibly massive and appears to be very ancient.
Anything interesting?
Alloys that I can't analyze, not remotely.
No communication. It made no movement or anything.
No, there were some power signals that came on when the ship was boarded.
And you docked with it just fine.
Yes, we had to manually dock. One person had to EVA over and find the port and secure it from the other side, which also, unfortunately, means, since it's not compatible with our system, that we can't electronically disengage from it either. It needs to be manually released, just like it was manually attached.
Gotcha. Are there extra EVA suits on board?
Yes.
Okay.
Although with the gantry.
So I don't know what your priority here is, but it sounds to me like we just wait for them to come back. and
Yeah, I think the
hold
best.
them then.
I think the best course of action would be spend a certain amount of time waiting to establish radio contact, see if they come back within range, and if not, we might have to establish contact ourselves. But we do actually have the ship, so if we can get the information we need to where they were going, and maybe what they were carrying, we might have everything we need just being here.
Right. We just can't leave them stranded on some weird hunk in the middle of space.
Well, we should also probably report this finding to a much larger authority. This is well outside my scope of experience.
Absolutely. Let's just do that now.
And
Yeah, that's why I
as
was
of right
asking about
now,
our.
There's not evidence of any kind of contraband. It looks like what they were being sneaky about was to buy time over here without people knowing where they are.
So it looks like they were already aware the object was here. Based
Yeah,
on
that's
logs?
what he said. They found
Yeah.
it. They got close enough to see something was there from the listening post,
Oh, okay.
and then this ship was sent to investigate and salvage it.
So I'm not too up to date on the laws here, but at worst, this is a minor offense. They're guilty of not reporting the finding, and
I believe there are
falsifying
subsection
a
colonial
report.
laws that were made through the Geneva Convention that say that anybody who comes across strange or alien findings are supposed to report them.
Right, but I feel like it's probably safe to assume that this is not going to be
Incident.
It's definitely
An
not
incident,
what we
a
were
dangerous
looking
crew,
for.
right.
No.
so
Most
we,
of the crew scan it reads in the manifest as being scientific and exploratory in nature.
There were 6 security personnel,
6 security
and
personnel.
10 auxiliary folks.
Samson, you don't have any technology on board that could boost comms if we took it through the gantry into the ship, do you? Radio repeaters?
I don't believe so.
could we make one?
I mean, anything is possible given time.
Did we bring anything like that as part of standard operations for?
It's not a standard part of our loadout to have repeaters, but
Depending on
Well-
the level of interference, if we were to chain communication devices, that might let us reach in a little further. But I don't have anything. And with the entire crew over there, it's not responsible for me to leave the ship and go over there. So I've been left with nothing to do but try to reach them and
just
hope that they came back so that I could reach them.
calculating a way that we could boost the chance of communication. But you're right.
If we really need to, we can just go in and get them. It's a large ship, and if we don't have access to its components, we could be searching it for days. So it seems like it's best if we just wait for them to return.
It's also a strange makeup. I wouldn't recommend just walking inside like they did.
Do we have did the EVAs did they come standard with audio and visual?
There's standard
Recording.
communication on it, yes.
Can we see whatever footage you did have until communications were lost?
Also, based on like my knowledge, like ships this large usually aren't built by any of the powers that be, right?
No,
Like
this thing.
we
is,
know it's alien.
You can tell it's not any kind of construction you've seen. It doesn't match any kind of alloy you've ever seen. Part of, and before I squirrel away from it again, part of the legal issues is the fact that it's not necessarily open salvage. They are outside of their own territory, so it could be contested, which is part of why they're being sneaky, probably. What were you asking?
If we could see through the EVA suits cameras
Yeah,
for what
I
we
squirreled away from
reported.
what Angel asked. The EVA footage shows exactly that. They extended the gantry and they walked through the gantry without it being pressurized, and got access to the ship through a small access hatch that the gantry will not connect to. So they had to sort of walk on the ship and find a way in, and they did. They found a small hatch where they were barely able to squeeze into a hallway. The footage shows the entire time they were there because it was being recorded locally, and the suit has come back. They enter a hallway from this little access hatch. There's a little bit of it's all dark and hard to see. It's unlit, even with his little light. Everything seems to be black and sort of either really high gloss or maybe wet. And he gets into a hallway, and the hallway is huge, like automobile tunnel, huge. And he walks to the front end of it, and it's sort of cup shaped. The bottom of it, he describes as looking soft like sand, but anytime he touches it or steps on it, it immediately flattens to give him traction and support and everything. He does notice at one point when he drops something that he's carrying, one of the tools, that when that hits the ground, it hits with a soft thud like sand. And things don't scatter like dirt or anything, but it seemed to actually not have a lot of impact on what dropped. However, when he walks, it makes sure that it's solid underneath him, almost like a magnetic or like a liquid sand type thing. Scuffing at it out of curiosity, he tries to kick it around like sand. It doesn't respond like that. It seems to be more dense than that. He gets to the front where he finds a large airlock, and he's able to open that, and it takes several boring minutes of footage for them to line the gantry up with that. And he makes sure for a few minutes that everything is as sealed as it can get, and he tightens a bunch of things and locks everything down. And pulls a connector that blows bolts from not the gantry, the umbilical that's connected, for them to actually tow. It blows bolts into the hull, and then once he's got that, they're able to connect and seal the gantry. But in order to, the gantry you can retract, the umbilical for towing has basically been riveted in and the process needs to be reversed. They either need to be blown free or the bolts blown off. It's designed for that, but it's not something that he can do remotely. It has to be done on site because of the way it was done.
Then how much footage do we get of the EVA suits inside the ship?
Just that, because he comes back on the gantry.
So they entered the other ship without EVA suits?
No, he went in with the EVA suit and found a conduit to a hallway. With the hallway, after he secured the umbilical in a semi-permanent fashion, he was able to get the gantry sealed.
Right. No, I understand all that. What I'm asking is the crew who went in there, they went in there without EVA suits?
Yes, there was atmosphere in the ship.
Okay, how did they find that out?
The guy in the EVA suit watched the O2 levels rise as soon as he entered the ship.
Okay.
Power started coming back on, and the ship lit automatically. Very dim and weird blue lighting, but it seemed to respond to his needs.
Okay, and then the synth said that he had contact with them for about 30 minutes.
Yes.
And then lost it?
Yes.
In those 30 minutes before contact was lost, there were no reports of like security systems activating or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
And no, he lost contact after they were about 30 meters in the ship.
Oh, okay, not 30 minutes.
Which was actually just about 5 minutes.
And they were talking about architecture and
Right.
the way the ship looked.
Okay. Well, I have no reason to believe that a security system would be a problem then. It's just
there were no reports of it.
emergency power or whatever dead out here. So we'll just currently set up shop, wait for them to come back. Meanwhile, we'll do a
he says
scan of the cargo. And
they were not a combat crew. If they had run into something like that, anybody that was able would have fallen back to the ship.
Right. The fact that they lost comms and no one came back tells me that they aren't in any danger. So
they might not even recognize that comms have been lost, or they have, and they're trying to find ways to adjust them using maybe the ship itself.
Makes sense.
They're a smart crew. I'm sure they're well aware that comms are down. I don't know why they haven't raised action.
Okay.
If you did chain comm to comm for short range jumping, we might be able to do that and maybe reach further into the ship. But that's just not an option I had when it was just me.
If they've been gone that amount of time, though, they're probably deep into the ship.
I imagine so.
But we could still do it as a first step.
This thing is a little larger than a refinery that these tugs tow. And by its design, it is a lot less bulky because the refinery is like a huge machinery cube and platform. This thing is just a horseshoe shape with like an orb in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So it should have a lot less mass, even though it's the same size because it's not as bulky. However, the Zjednikit is unable to tow this vessel.
Oh, weird.
I have tried.
So that's counter to physics.
Yes.
So
And the vehicle is not responding to my efforts. It's not resisting or firing engines or anything like that. This vehicle is simply unable to move it, and mathematically I cannot explain.
engines on the other ship or something.
You mentioned
but they're not.
alloys.
Yeah.
It could be those alloys, and we're not able to actually calculate that.
Sure.
The ship doesn't seem to be responding to me trying to push or pull it. I simply can't.
Okay.
It could simply be made of denser material than we're used to.
I mean,
Deep space.
I never took an astrophysics class, so
I have technically taken the equivalent to hundreds and thousands of them. It's most likely the alloys.
And he got a B, so.
you know,
Is this strange ship giving off any form of energy readings?
It began giving low-grade energy readings as soon as we entered the ship and it started responding to us, but minimal, like lighting. I don't even know how the power readings I'm able to get would generate life support.
does this ship have any weapon systems?
Oh.
Right.
Hit my chair. How dare you?
We waited out.
You bet.
Hurry up and wait is a special skill of ours.
Yep.
True that.
Yeah, it's about
Try to salvage all their logs and all the information we can from this ship to some sort of local storage or mobile storage and
The
wait to
only
see if they
thing-
come back.
The only thing fishy you can see is the fact that they stopped at a pretty shady place to drop some shitty cargo. That really, there's no reason for them to leave their trash there. There's lots of places to do it. It looks like they were deliberately showing that they had cargo and just kind of getting rid of it when no one was looking so that they wouldn't have cargo when they got here.
What's the security team armed with?
The UPP equivalent of your pulse rifles.
Oh, they're like smaller bullpup versions.
Cattle prods, homemade flamethrowers, bad motion trackers, and
I want homemade
The
flamethrowers.
AK-423, yeah, that kind of thing. It's
So like, actually, the UPP motion trackers are way better. Not subject to the same sort of indoor interference ours are.
All right. Is there any way we can get Samson to just shut down if we have all the information we need?
I'm sure he'd be more than willing, but why not have another sim help us?
Just another set of eyes to follow.
He's compliant, though, Cutter.
Sometimes people stop being compliant.
Not us, though.
No, even we stop being compliant. And they just mentioned something about drinking a bunch of whiskey down there.
No, Corporal, that was a misunderstanding. There's no whiskey here.
Open channels.
You trust me, don't you?
Not a way, not a one.
Samson is complying by the same rules I operate on and is
he's
recognizing the
getting
marshal's
shit because
authority. So
By
you should be able to
bullshit.
trust Samson as much as I.
Because everything's always
does
going to
add
go
the
wrong, but
additional
as far as he's
complicating
concerned, you're
factor
the
when
one
it comes to
behind.
dealing with
It's completely fair.
How so, Marshal?
simply just by being here.
But he can't override your authority, correct? He wouldn't offer resistance.
You should.
Perspective's still a thing. If he feels that the rest of the crew is in danger, he might be able to do something about that. So,
Possibly.
We're also assuming that he's actually following his programming. There's no reason to believe that he isn't an off-market synth. Hasn't been messed with, so maybe you should run a diagnostic and find out exactly what's going on
Get
before
one
we
of those
determine
synthetic
what's
mind
in.
melds.
Run a
If you'd be
diagnostic with your
willing,
sidearm,
Samson,
that'll
I'd be
fix it.
happy to gently inspect.
I'll be happy to show
Thank you.
that I'm not an off-market synth.
Please
That
take
was
no
your face
offense.
was great just because even this was like, how dare you?
So yeah, I'll go over to
Trust the
Samson
scientific
and
If I wanted to offer resistance, I had no less than 3 opportunities to end your presence on the ship on the way here.
I am comforted.
No
I am.
desire to inflict harm on anyone.
he's right. There
And
were
yes,
at
I
least
want to
3, if
protect
not
my
5.
crew, and right now, the only
this.
hope, not even the best hope, the only hope I have of seeing my crew, if something has happened to them, is you guys. Because I cannot leave this ship unattended to go over there. That's against the constraints that are put on me.
And while he's talking, I'm just gonna walk over and start looking for. Well, because there's the mark on the iris, right? There's a mark on the iris to confirm that is there, and like the barcodes and the identifiers are there. And then isn't there like an access port, or what would be the best way to do it?
You have a way that you can actually interface a device with him, not yourself. But
Yeah,
a device.
I'll just pull out my data pad and plug it in.
You do notice that the external markings, the markings in the iris or under the eyelid or any of the other standards, are not there. He's unmarked.
Really?
But, yes.
Okay.
But everything else about him seems standard.
And so is unmarked uncommon?
No, but it costs a lot of extra money.
Okay, so it's not a big red flag for me as a stuff. But I'd be marked, right?
You are, because you're
Marine
USMC. Bro.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. But so yeah,
You are owned by the military.
Yeah. So I plug in, do everything.
Comtech check.
Contact check.
Right. Why don't you use whatever codes you have and just log this?
I'm gonna pull out my
With the
handheld,
communication station.
gamer toy and start
That way
trying to catch the
people
next
know we're out
Pokemans.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, actually, if I got the marshal to help me, I wouldn't get a bonus, right? I need another person?
You need somebody skilled with contact. That's all it is.
Okay, well that is the marshal, right? Marshal has contact?
We all three of us do.
Yeah, all
Okay.
three of us do.
Well, yeah, I think in this case, though, Angel said, Marshall, would you mind assisting me with the diagnosis so you can prove that they were done correctly and there's nothing strange about them?
Sure.
Okay. So +1.
+1.
Yeah.
2 successes. There we
I was
go.
gonna say, I really want to see this success fail. This task fail,
Considering the
because
amount of
then everybody's gonna be like,
your luck has not been that great.
"No, it is."
Same here, though.
Did
So-
you pass though?
Yeah, it actually it doesn't take you very long. There's no blocks or security or anything to the programming. Looks like he's completely utility and designed for ease of access and reprogramming, and all of the usual safeguards are there. You do see that there is, similar to some of what you have, there is a bypass protocol that a ranking member of the corporation that owns him can issue that will allow him to inflict harm on others to protect the life of his owner. But it's essentially it's a triggered behavior.
And probably no one on the crew has those access rights.
The captain of this ship does, because he's got enough rank in the corporation that he can, and it's this vessel and everything is a corporate owned, not government owned.
What corporation?
Anglo-Japanese? Or
No,
no,
not
UPB?
Anglo-Japanese.
It's one of the communist groups of the UPB.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's not a munitions factory or weapons factory or anything like that. It's one of their ship factories and one of their major corporations.
So Angel's just going to disconnect the cable and thank you for complying. He's unmarked with no serial code, but everything else reads as stock from Wayland. The captain of the ship could technically order him to do something extreme if there was a reason for it, but I really don't see it being an issue.
think we have an unknown amount of tonnage worth of reasons for him to ask them to try to keep this secret. So I follow along with the corporal's logic. We should either ask him to shut down or restrain him.
Smoke the scent.
I'm confused. You see the data that I see as well.
And it says he has an override that the captain can activate.
I defer to you, Cutter.
Yeah, shut him down.
Very well.
Apologies, Sampson.
It's okay. It says, I will be just off the galley if you need me. And he basically goes to his little
Charging nook.
Well, it's not a charging nook.
Yeah,
but
but
he's got a
he
small
doesn't run
kind of
on,
nondescript room
Duracell?
right off
Yeah.
of the galley. He doesn't have like a crew
Synthetic
quarters like
kind of
everybody
Borg.
else. And he goes in there, and you watch him.
Yeah.
He lays down and he shuts down.
That's
And he
confirmed.
actually shuts down. You need to reactivate him. If you
Yeah,
want.
no, Angel's watching, and then eventually, like, once she's 100% sure, it'll just say, he's shut off, even though I think it was unnecessary.
No harm, no foul. He'll be turned back on once we're back in
So
safe
you just
space.
ask somebody to take a nap.
Yeah.
Somebody that could have stayed on the
This
bridge
is
and
taking
given
long
us
enough
a
that you guys are
second
bored
set of
as
eyes.
fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna have us on
Yeah.
like a rotating,
You're-
like one person
Or we
guard
just have you
schedule.
watch.
You're about
I
sick
can
of
do
hearing
that.
do 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 boing boing do 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 boing.
Is that mute?
Not in my hands.
All right.
He's playing Pokemon.
The marshal and I were talking about sending out a
Guess I could
message
do something.
logging the find.
Yeah, just a general net wide probably.
Okay. The discovery of this ship or the discovery of the Zidnikit?
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, both for sure.
Both.
Okay.
With 2 F's.
And
Both.
who are you
Both
going to
of
send it to?
Both of these.
Whatever official channel I probably should, whatever the nearest is be. That's why I asked how far.
Yeah.
Like
You
it
can
would
send
take.
it. It'll take a while for the
Yeah.
communication to get there, but yeah, you can send it.
Okay. I'll just send it to our allies, I guess.
Okay.
Us.
Yeah, it'll take a couple days, but it'll get there.
And then the plan is to wait.
Okay.
They'll come back and then we'll put them in temporary custody, figure out what's going on from there.
So
Yeah.
we on the bridge have like the huge CRTs everywhere, like the hanging everywhere. So I can just throw up all the security feeds and especially like have cameras on them in the gantry.
Yes.
That long
There,
Brutus,
there
what
are
MRE do you have?
already cameras watching the cargo hold,
Mhm.
the elevator, and the gantry.
Cool.
So
So,
it
we
looks
can
like-
see them playing video games and
Yeah.
hanging out. Okay.
Jed asked Brutus what kind of MRE he has.
Okay. So how long would we like to wait before we attempt to send somebody over there to establish contact?
We currently
Well-
have nothing but time.
What time is it? They've been gone for 4 hours?
They've been gone about 6 hours at this point.
6 hours? How much? Well, now the scent is unconscious.
I
imagine they'll come
the smallest of smirks.
Damn it, I
Just
hate it when
like,
being decisive
boy.
bites me in the ass.
I imagine they're going to want to come back to either eat or sleep. So
12
if they've been
hours?
gone 6, let's wait till it's a total of 12. So 6 more hours.
Can do. Just sit back, relax. Just wait out 12 hours.
So
What kind of
about
MRE do
3.5
you have?
more hours go
Should be
by.
Oh, no.
I have
You're checking in religiously on the radio.
I
and
have
you're not
shredded
getting
beef
anything
and
back.
the barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I got chili mac. You want to trade?
Yes.
I don't actually like chili mac.
Fuck.
I said what I said.
We're not friends after Sunday.
Actually, no, that means we could totally be friends.
Yeah,
Because
So
he'll always
I
get
all
the chili back.
macs.
exactly. I
So-
want chicken dumpling.
Weird / fun fact. My dad was obsessed with MREs growing up, and he
Since don't have dads.
And you're not about to have a life.
sidebar. My
I'm not even going
my-
to strangle him.
my
I'm just going to
dad,
take him outside.
One of the
with me.
many things he freaking did that was just had a weird side effect is he had a lot of MREs in the house. So I actually grew up eating a lot of MREs, and I am still addicted to and miss because I probably haven't had it in 20 years. The orange pound cake. There was one that had this orange pound cake that was delicious, and he was addicted to the disgusting rice pilaf ones. And it was like red beans and rice pilaf or
liked the
something, and I
rice pilaf.
hated.
I
I
mean,
hated that.
it's not the worst one out there, but
But that
It's a weird one to be addicted
orange
to.
pound
Cat
cake.
food is the worst one. Well, it's,
Alfredo
tuna
pasta.
casserole.
Or chicken Alfredo.
no, it's the meatloaf.
It's weird.
Oh,
I think
chicken
that's probably
Alfredo
one of the
tastes like
weirdest
cat
things
food.
that I crave is that orange pound cake because it was just such a good snack as a
They're
kid.
good.
So
Orange pound cakes.
you
Fantastic.
actually would know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
You guys would know what I'm talking about.
So
may have heard a rumor.
All right.
Yes.
6 hours later.
6
hours later.
6 hours later, your people in the gantry are really unhappy.
I've stopped maintaining anything at this point. I've completely sat on the floor. So
Huh.
I started really getting
Yeah.
handheld gamer toys.
There's gaps appearing in the 10-minute check-ins.
Yeah.
They eventually fall
Learning to
completely
play
out.
cards.
And caring about it has slowly
You
dropped
can
too.
see them on the monitors. You know
Right.
they're fine, but
I harped on them a couple times about getting in there every 10 minutes, but then eventually stopped doing that too.
So even though I
It's all
trust
childlike.
Samson's ability,
Hey,
since we have
Corporal,
so
11
much
minutes
dead
is checked in. You
time,
okay?
this isn't Star Trek or anything, but is there anything that Angel can do to just like study this ship or learn anything she can about it, or am I exceedingly limited from here?
Well, you've got a pretty good sensor suite from here. You can go ahead and make a comm tech roll with, I'm assuming they're bored enough to help you as well, so +2, you got 2 people there.
Oh yeah, bored.
Just to look at the alloys, just like it's fascinating.
I'm not
to me
helping.
how
I'm
the
reading
ship
my
To
book.
rewire the sentry gun
I'm
to
reading my
fire
book.
silicon-based life forms.
The book I always read.
We need one just like gnarly roll, like 9 successes.
I know,
just
I'm
once-
dying. I'm
just
fucking,
once
I'm
tonight.
fucking dying for it. It's my golden
It's like I
2.
throw my knife and I murder.
My goal is to watch Mike stress out.
2 successes.
I have good stress, and I have overkill, which means my panic level is like 13.
The best you can do
I don't
is
panic.
there are dense
I'm
heavy
too
metal
busy
alloys
shooting.
in here. Some components of it are
like a
familiar
character
elements.
for
They're incredibly heavy.
Based on what I picked up tonight.
Uranium, radium, that kind of thing. They're non
Radioactive.
radioactive, but they're incredibly dense like that. But there are large parts of this hull that just the sensors can't make heads or tails of.
So I come to the same conclusion as Samson does, that like calculating what I know about it in its density / mass, the ship should be able to move it. But like
Yes.
there's like over 50% of the ship, I don't know how heavy it is.
Right.
Okay.
There are 2 more things you find out because you got 2 successes. So you monitor some of the power stuff and rolling back through it. Like I said, it's horseshoe shaped with sort of an orb in the middle that's connected to the back of the ship. Running through the sensor logs, you saw that when they entered on this side, the energy readings followed along and they shut down behind them. It's like it was sort of giving them light and air and everything as they were moving, and it went around to the middle of the ship. The middle of the ship still has low levels of energy as well.
Okay, so that's 1.
Well, it's both because there's still energy there, and
attract it.
yeah, and it doesn't seem to be any other energy reading.
So those are the things I learned.
Yes.
The 2 things. So do I have? I don't have a 3D. Well, I have a 3D model of it, right?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
looking at it. You've got a real good
Okay.
idea of what it looks like.
Yeah. So like as we get towards the end, I'll make sure that I tell the Marshal and Cutter that, and I'll even like make an animation of it probably, and show you guys that when they came in, the power followed them, and we can actually watch them on the 3D animation, like go all the way around the horseshoe into the middle, and the middle's still glowing.
Oh, so they're on the bridge.
It's low level of power, but if the entire ship follows the same pattern of supporting life forms that move through it, yes, they'd still be on the bridge.
We're looking at them right through this viewpoint.
They could be staring at us, yes.
If they had windows and everything.
Right, but they're right there.
Sensors.
You could almost just get them and go. They're right there.
I have a feeling if Brutus was here, he'd just suggest punching a hole in the hull.
We just need straw, really big straw.
He understands that.
I am not that bad.
You're not on open comm. Shut the fuck
We
up.
shut comms down a while ago.
Oh, I didn't know if you shut comms down or not. So.
Yeah.
Then
I'll sit
I
here
am,
and listen to him jabber.
I'm
Yeah.
completely content to
Sit
listen to
down.
him ramble as I play more Pokemons.
And you guys just
Spacey
got
man.
And
What do you ramble about?
and Space
Yeah.
Plumber.
Well, I'm probably going to be asking him, like, I mean, by this point, they've probably got like 4,000 of those damn things, don't they? I mean, it seems like every couple of years they come out with like a new set and they've got, more different types are based on different things. And, like, what edition is that? I mean, what do you got going on over there?
And for about an hour, Vibes just, this is such bullshit. We shouldn't just be sitting here, man. We shouldn't just be waiting. This is
I
just
thought that was
dumb.
the chatterbox.
And then he eventually just mumble complains himself to sleep. He's just laying on the deck.
Sounds about right.
Instead of, so there's a new kind of self-soothing is mumble complain.
That's a very common self-soothe in the military.
He's
I wanna
basically
express when you said
maintains
report,
a stress
I thought you
level
said
in the comm until it exhausts him, and
That
then he
was
just sort of
really
fades.
I'm always
God.
keeping an eye on this motion tracker.
I will. The place Samson laid down
Always.
is right, like connected to the bridge, pretty
No
much,
heartbeats.
right?
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
Okay. Every like 30 minutes or so, Angel will just swing by there and glance inside, more out of like empathy than anything else.
Yeah, he's laying there with just a couple of low lights around the
Programmed
floor,
empathy.
so the room's not pitch black, and he's off.
Please say that out loud.
I did.
Just as I'm walking around, you say programmed empathy.
Yeah. Programmed empathy.
It's not programmed, it's real.
parsecs.
It's a real program. I like you. I think you're fantastic, Angel. I mean, you're still not one of us, really. You're a synth. And that's kind of cool and unique. But everything you do is programmed, trained.
You have a way to give a compliment and hurt someone at the same time.
It's legitimately non-commissioned officer training.
That matches your name.
Cutter. There's a story behind that, and you're not far off. Jake,
The marshal's just like,
From State Farm?
what's that chip
Surprised
you
it
put
took
on
this
your
long.
hand?
I've been fighting all night.
Chip? What chip?
Yeah, the chip you had in your hand a little while ago. An hour ago.
Nothing really, just I don't know, just something I got used to putting in my pockets on a regular basis, I guess.
I get you.
sometimes I wonder if you'd respond better if I just acted like one of the synths that were undercover.
Gosh.
Hull breach.
I'm gonna pretend this
These
is
aren't
my little
xenomorphs, they're Necrons, we're fucked.
Oh God, no.
Oh no! They don't stop coming in and out of ammo.
We had one of those before. It was actually really disconcerting.
You had a synth that, why was it disconcerting? I think that Brutus and some of them would get along better than one that faked and talked like however they wanted.
Oh no, Brutus loved. Yeah.
That's why he doesn't like me that much.
Mm. But it really threw me off. I didn't like it. So
Because
I like to know what I'm dealing with. I like to have all the chips laid out in front of me, and forgetting that one of the objects in the squad is an object can ruin things.
it's so curious that you all put faces and masks on every single day, but when we do it, it's weird.
It's pretty deep. I'll go back to reading my book. Sun Tzu, by the way.
His second lesser known book, The War of Art.
That's right.
It's his autobiography, actually. It's just called Sun Tzu by Sun Tzu.
All right. So, eventually, you guys really want to wander out of that gantry. You guys gave it, what, 12 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 hours from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys give it 6 hours. They've been over there for 12.
Nobody came back.
Nobody has come back. There has still been no contact, and the routine that Samson set up is still trying to ping them every 5 minutes.
Well, disable gantry and fly the ship out of here. Roll credits.
Nothing to see
I
here,
concur.
folks. We're done.
Agreed.
All open comms.
No, I 100% believe we should send Brutus over.
Just Brutus. Brutus and bad
Send a
vibes.
synth. See
Yeah,
if the
Brutus
ship
and
reacts
bad
to a
vibes.
synth by doing the whole energy thing.
That'd be worth it.
Just send Samson then.
Just send Samson to go get them?
Yeah.
The problem with that is that
Yeah,
if he
go
gets
get
to the captain and the captain's like, look, when we get back, you're opening fire.
We're leaving.
Send Samson and then leave? Well, I'm actually going to open comms. We might as well.
Okay.
I'm going to
Catch
open
us.
comms.
Mid
With
conversation.
who?
Catch
Then
you.
I told her, baby, it might not be
Well,
12
what?
inches, but it smells like a foot.
Oh, what?
Clear comms, please. And I make this face. Okay. All right. 6 hours is up. They haven't come back. By law, we can't just leave.
Why not?
What
They're
law?
UPP.
Well, there's no reason to leave anyway.
We
So-
have what we came for.
We came for them.
We did?
In a matter of speaking, yes.
Yes.
We are,
We came to
We
see
need
if they were being
information.
naughty, and they're not being
we are
particularly
completely
naughty.
empty-handed at the moment.
So, suggestions. I'll let this one be a vote.
We go inside and go get them.
Makes sense.
Better idea. We send their synth to go get them.
Is there
Problem
any...
with that is that the captain could order the synth to engage us when they returned.
Yeah, but we've got more guns than the synth does.
Don't
Not
they,
if he pretends to be our friend when he comes back.
don't they have any
You
drones
guys
or
are still
anything
in the
we can
gantry
just
on
check in there?
communicators?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
open
comms
comms.
for us.
We're
Yeah.
taking a vote on what to do next.
Don't they have any drones or
You
anything?
guys
we can
hear
just take a
from
look?
down the gantry?
Oh no.
3 beeps. Just beep, beep, beep.
Hey, we've got movement.
All right, close comms. Let us know what happens.
We'll go.
As we all just stand there and look up at the screen.
Anything on my motion tracker?
Would you like popcorn?
So is it? It's at the door, right? There's the 3 beeps.
It's down the gantry from you. It's a tube in space. You don't know
Is
what
there
it's coming
beeping coming from the tube or their motion tracker?
from. It's not the motion tracker.
Okay.
The motion tracker's in her hand.
Is there any heat signatures down the hallway?
Do you have thermal?
Yes.
Okay.
It's part of the gun.
It could be behind the door or whatever.
You get a hit on your motion tracker.
Oh my god.
Or is the
Halfway through the
I
gantry,
wish. Yeah.
you guys hear one last beep, beep, beep,
Guys.
and the sentry gun goes.
Oh
And,
no.
and the moment it does this, Vibes is awake. What's up? What's? That's not good. That is not good. That is so not good.
Sentry gun's down. We got movement down the corridor.
Did you play it again?
The sentry gun's battery died.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought.
Because it's been running for
6
hours.
hours. Yeah.
Okay, I thought that something like killed it.
No.
Wait, they left
The-
the gun
the
on and it ran out of battery?
Yeah.
You morons!
The beeping, all the talking, the video games, Vibes slept through all of us. But the minute the sentry gun went, he was, oh, that's not good. Oh, this is so not good.
I'm going
We
to
have
seeing
we have
the
heartbeat.
gun go down. Angel immediately comes in. Please tell me you brought another battery.
I thought it was like you and just kept going.
Dear.
Damn it, Brutus. That was your responsibility.
Who gave me that?
It can be recharged.
Think.
You can probably find another power source, but it's
Right.
just been sitting there for hours on alert.
You look at me.
And the only motion was the gun dropping. So it was just there for a second.
Thank my makers. I don't have a battery pack, or I obviously see that I would be off half the time.
Also, learned, gentlemen. That was just
Hypothetically,
yeah.
could we hook the other
Consentry.
synth up to the gun to give it perpetual?
You
life?
are
What,
not using a synth as a
what-
battery pack. Thank you.
I wasn't asking you.
What
Other
base did your men
Duracell.
go? where did your men go through basic? Because it wasn't good enough.
29 stumps.
I think it's just been so long they forgot, basically.
It's also been a long lull, so they just kind of let it run.
See, that's why we're superior. We always.
I
remember
pick it.
basic
I walk up and I pick it up. Where do I plug it in?
How long? What's our operational
It's a hand
like
crank.
time been at? Like, how long has everybody been awake at this point?
You guys
We know at least 6 hours, right?
woke up from slumber. It has been. You're coming up on about 10 hours total.
With periodic naps in between.
Some of you less than that, because Vibes has been he griped himself to sleep. So
Yeah.
this is not good. He's wide awake and complaining now though. This isn't good, man.
When do I plug it in? And I just
We just need to get another battery, man. It doesn't plug in. It's meant to be portable. You know,
Oh,
There are no limits.
put
There are
that
no-
down.
There are no limits to the depths of your stupidity, Brutus.
Put it
Set all
down the
kinds
way
of
it
records
was,
today,
because
apparently.
it's got a programmed firing arc.
Oh,
All right.
but it's
Oh,
off.
my-
I'll be back.
Yeah, but when he plugs the battery back in, if we're standing in its firing arc,
Sentry guns are literally standard issue for smart gun teams. So
It's been a while since basic.
It can only be on and monitoring for so long though. It's got a standby time forever, but it's not meant to be monitoring and looking for targets.
Please put that down.
So what is that time? What is its running time?
about 6 hours.
6 hours.
On a full charge, they can run probably 12 to 18 hours.
Oh, okay.
so
Who gave us a half-charged fucking sentry gun? What the
Again,
Welcome to the Corps.
these are standard operating procedures for smart gunners.
who gave us literally is you.
Yeah.
The smart, so the sentry gun is 100% your responsibility.
Vibe.
I could have sworn I plugged it in.
I'll go get his power. Just make sure he's got that thing pointing the right way when we plug it in.
I'm gonna come with you. We don't go anywhere alone. Jackass. Talk about remember
Battle
basic
buddies.
training.
You're gonna leave me with the meathead?
There's nobody on the boat.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, send the medic. I don't want meathead left without command.
Yeah,
I listen
Zuni and I'll go.
sometimes.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
And
Last
that's the
thing I
last
wanna
we ever
do
heard
is-
of them.
Last thing I want to do is be alone.
This is
with
the
this guy.
Captain Jackass over there. We got.
You don't have anything to be afraid of. I'm watching everything that you're doing, and there's no one here besides us. Calm down.
Did she did you during all that time of us hanging out, would you have
Yes.
restored like full like capabilities of the ship and like checked on like all the primary systems and everything?
There was nothing that was turned off, as far as I was aware.
Things are just powered down because
Yeah.
there's no crew.
Well, yeah, I would have.
Okay.
I would have brought it
You
back
get
up to
a
full
thrill
operation.
and scary,
Yeah.
don't you?
Operational
Okay,
status.
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, the
That's just
lights
using
are
more
on,
power than
and
you need,
yeah, using a bit more power than me, but
Alright, let's go, vibes.
I'm watching from above. You're fine.
Thank
Oh,
you,
no.
Angel.
Our guardian angel.
We do have to figure out
Sincerely.
who's gonna cross over to that ship and look for the other crew.
So it's
Yes, we do.
you have an awesome empathy and a great bedside manner as a doctor,
Mhm.
and it's an absolute monumental test to your patience. It takes about 30 minutes for you guys to wander around a ship you don't know you know the layout of, but you don't really know where their stuff is. You do find another power source, and the entire time you're hearing about this isn't good, this is so bad, man, things are going to go so wrong, and it's and you do that for long
I
enough that
understand
it's
that.
just about all you can do.
We got this, vibes. Don't worry.
Yeah, and they come back with
Tell them to grow a pair.
a compatible Russian power source.
All right,
Plug it in.
back to the vote.
On to standby.
We've got one
Turn it
for
off.
one for
It's-
we
this
go
one's
in.
fully charged.
Jed.
Why don't we send our synth in to check on them?
Why would you send Angel?
I feel like she might be best utilized on the bridge here.
I agree.
I agree.
Because
Well-
she's just more expensive to replace than you are.
Yeah. Only cost $75,000 to train a grunt ass, but no, fucking synths cost a few million. I see how it.
We go in. What's your vote, Jed?
I really don't want to go in. I'd rather just wait. We've got MREs. We've got food for a little
You
while.
sounded like vibes, man.
He's talking sense.
As much as I don't want to volunteer, I would be able to reach them much faster than any of you would with the speed that I can move at.
God, she's a
Assuming
hero.
you're
Listen to
sprinting
her
through
go.
an alien ship, sure.
I'm
they
offering
called
a
alien
potential
ships?
solution cutter. Nothing more.
Is it possible that most of the layout of the ship matched the initial designs that we saw from the EVA?
One would think, but the crew commented on the crazy architecture they saw inside, so I'm not assuming it follows a standard layout that we're used to.
Yeah, maybe not that we're used to, but it has to make sense, right? This
has to
has to
make
have been made
sense.
by an intelligent species that understands.
Very intelligent, but at this level of intelligence, they could have weird Euclidean geometry inside for all we know.
Fair enough.
We need to assume. Maybe they just know we're out here and they're figuring out what to do.
Maybe there's casualties in there.
Maybe. So if we do go, you're going.
Why? UPP.
You see that?
So what's your
You
vote,
just
Suni?
stepped in that.
You just
Do
stepped in
these
that.
bloody ships not have like drones on wheels?
Yes.
They don't? You don't have
I-
Oh, you. She did ask earlier. She
Yeah.
asked specifically if we
Yeah.
could send a drone in.
Is there
That
any
is
drones?
standard equipment in this setting, but it's not something that
Not
these guys
here.
have. If they had them, maybe they took them with them. You don't know.
Makes sense.
So Zuni, your vote.
I'm worried about casualties. It's the good nature in me. I say we go in. But I need.
He's on the freaking pedestal there.
I know.
I gotta do what's right.
This is the worst thing ever, because we know what's on the other side. Holy shit!
That's beautiful.
Marshall?
I don't
Oh, I
like
agree. The medic
this.
should go.
Well, you'll have to go too because you'll have to put them under arrest.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Marshall,
say
I
it
think
now.
I'm
it'd be
not.
best
I'm
if
not
we
trained to
could-
handle these sorts of
I barely know her.
situations. This is outside of my purview.
It's either Angel, Marshall, or Carter.
So we should go, but you don't want to.
No, you should all go, and I should stay here with the synth to make sure that the other synth's rights aren't violated.
Excuse me?
What rights?
The same ones afforded to them everywhere else.
Are
Our
you
comms open
implying
right
that
now?
I would violate the synth?
That guy deserves
No.
a medal for valor.
Yeah.
Then
Exactly.
who would violate either of us?
Anybody who stays here.
Someone with a robot cane. You.
We're
Am
not
I the
sending.
only-
We're not sending everybody over there. It doesn't make any sense. We have
No,
to
it
maintain
doesn't.
control of this ship. So I have to stay here to make sure that I monitor
Oh my god.
whoever
We're
else
on the
stays here
entryway.
to monitor you
All right.
in the ship.
Corporal
I
Bravo
don't
team can just
require
go check. We can
monitoring,
just go do
Marshal.
this and leave the sentry gun behind us on a different firing solution than it's got right now to cover our asses. We're right here anyway.
Well, somebody would still need to cover the entryway.
We'll leave vibes.
I'll
Please.
move down. I'll move down with and maintain control with Brutus, Jed, Suni, and Vibes going.
Heather, do I get a vote?
You're
such a terrible Does she?
person.
Does our data pad get a vote?
You can have an opinion, but considering you couldn't vote in the last election,
God damn.
Synthetic rights are something that are happening, by the way.
happening, not happened.
Should they happen though? Because the Bible.
I'm gonna make this so much easier.
Look, synthetics can't vote because they're programmed to vote.
Yes.
If I can have an opinion,
Yes.
even though I could be valuable here, you know what I'm like in combat. I just showed you again.
I don't see why there'd be combat though.
It's an alien ship. There's so many unknowns. I would be excellent at keeping at least Sumi safe and the rest of them.
And it's part of your function to not want to let these people get hurt.
I'm literally programmed
Aw.
to protect.
This is why I love you.
Somewhere, staying on the bridge, sure I can interface and do basic tasks, but I'm built for much more than that.
She does have a point.
Well, Judge, you'll be in charge on the way in. What do you think?
You owe me for using my gun.
If you're gonna get all uppity about it, I was gonna say I didn't want you anyway, but come on. But I mean that doesn't change anything. Yeah, we'll take you.
Dude, if
You
we
can
have
take
to
a
go,
point.
take everybody we can if we gotta go in
Yeah,
there.
she can take
He's sending
point.
our ass into the friggin' dark.
They have flashlights.
We haven't seen anything from the ship that would tell us that there's anything hostile or any. The environments matched those of human necessity when you came on board.
It does.
Sure,
Right.
it's extremely intimidating and it's
imposing.
scary and
There's a bunch
imposing.
of
But
armed Russians on it.
yes,
That's hostile.
yes.
There's a handful of armed
This
Russians.
is not a
Handful.
decision about it
And they're
being...
corporate security, man. They're not even core.
Ugh.
Just tell me who I can
There's
shoot.
10 of them. There's gonna be 4 of us going.
There's only 6 security. We don't know what they
Oh.
brought with them. For all we know, they planned on staying the night. So I really don't think there's going to be a problem.
It's
Okay.
not that
Well,
we
we're
are
going anyway.
It's not that we are scared. It's the fact that there could be anything from a hull breach to radiation, and I want to make sure there's somewhere in there that's not going to melt into a pile of goo, and the people that we care about will be okay.
Well,
didn't
that
even think
logic, we
about the
should send
radiation.
Only you.
Oh my god.
I did offer that, Marshall.
I supported
Don't
that
feel
idea.
comfortable with Angel going alone.
But no, let's take all of B team. We can clear this
Well,
place
who's the
faster.
mechanic anyway? If Angel was to go down, who can actually pick her back up?
Anybody with medical training.
Doc.
Really?
They are organic.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'd be me.
That white stuff is like a protein solution or something.
I also keep spare
The
parts
only
on my
tricky
person.
thing is, if she's not disabled, she can surgically fix herself. That's the only difference.
That's true.
It is surgery to repair things. Surgery.
All right, and then I open a private channel to Jed.
That's what he says, and that makes me so happy.
Hey man, listen up. Getting real sick of Vibes complaining when he's not paying attention.
If you're about to ask me to do something illegal, I don't think I can do
I
it.
just want you to disable his comms.
Oh, okay. That I can do.
Thank you.
She has plenty to disable his cup.
I had a flash.
Using a frag.
I had a flashback to the last time you played a character with Joe leading, and I just had terrible visions.
Also,
Mhm.
first sign of danger, just get the fuck out. There's
Yeah,
no reason to stand
Roger.
by.
You don't have to tell me that. I'm not trying to win any fucking awards here. This sucks.
Yeah, right? Because he can hear you talking.
Did you want Samson away?
I'm glad you're not trying to win any awards because we're not getting any.
Yeah, this is
Are you
like
going?
a borderline black op anyway. It
According
feels
to
like.
Cutter,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going,
weird.
yes. So you'll be
All
alone
right, no,
unless I make
I'll
Samson.
handle that thing.
No,
Though.
you can
Also,
wake
don't tell
Samson
bad
first.
vibes, but this does feel off.
I know.
So, like I said, first sign of danger, scoot.
Check, Roger, got it.
Angel goes in and wakes Samson up.
What?
Yeah, because we had a conversation. Marshall told me I could.
So he comes to serenely laying there and just opens his eyes. And
Samson, we've waited quite a while. It's been exactly, however exact down to the second that it's been.
he verifies. Yeah,
We
I
need,
see that.
we need to go inside and see where the crew is. We have split up. The marshal is going to stay on the bridge. If you would please keep him company and make sure that he remains safe.
If that's how I can be of assistance, I will.
It is, yes. He will be on the bridge with you. Yes, he'll be on the bridge with you. What?
She's
I'm
playing.
laughing at you.
Oh, okay.
it's never
He's staring at me.
Can I express that anytime I'm laughing, it's never at you? You turn and look at me and I catch your eye and you're like, what
so
the fuck am I
You're
doing?
saying that I'm not funny then. I never make you laugh.
You stepped in
No,
that
she's
one.
Exactly what he's saying.
she's getting odd camera shots, but she's putting him in from the
Do the
side.
whole
of the
Gurr
camera.
Irish thing.
She's making the alien eat Joe's face.
So yeah, I take Samson back on the bridge with his new buddy.
And he walks back up, Marshall, and you see Samson walk back up onto the bridge awake. Corporal?
Samson, we're going to need you to take over Angel's duties here and continue monitoring the ship to the capacity that you were when we first asked you to shut down.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, we can't use the
Marshal
because he
authorized
could be reprogrammed to be a problem.
It's great. Then he's your problem because you're staying up here.
Yeah.
I'll go down to the gantry way.
I'm
And,
coming with you.
well, yeah, but I'm staying in the gantry.
Yeah. But we go
With
down,
Brutus.
We go down together.
Okay.
And there's a moment while they're walking and you guys are watching on cameras and they're meeting up with the team, and I'm sorry you've got a distrust of me, Marshall, but I assure you I intend nobody harm, and I don't want to see anybody lose their lives or get hurt.
It's not a general distrust or anything aimed at your programming or you as a synthetic. It's just general variables. You created a variable, an extra complication that I didn't want to have to account for.
I understand. I will be of assistance in any way that I can.
Okay.
And he steps over again to the main part of the con and starts flipping monitors and interfacing with the computer, and it looks like he's running back through logs from when he was asleep to watch comm signals and see what you got, new information you guys got. And
All right.
Then we take the elevator down to the gantry.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So you guys have your fancy new Russian battery on your gun, and big gigantic red battery with a sickle on it.
Can I just carry it?
The sentry gun?
Yes.
I suppose so.
Oh, you're not leaving it with?
Well, he's not going in. Me and Brutus are guarding the gantry.
No! I want to play my game. You won't tell me I can't.
If you come to the enemy ship,
Speaking of dead batteries,
No!
Yeah.
Don't you
it
dare!
has been hours.
And it's just designed to do so. I have extra double S. I came prepared.
You could power it up using that power source from your smart gun.
no.
So now you're conflicted, and I'll leave you with that.
I'll leave you.
It shouldn't be much of a confliction.
Summary
If he plugs that thing into the
execution
sentry
for
gun, he's getting
criminal
tossed out the airlock.
Bang.
All right. So everybody except the marshal and Samson are in the gantryway. And remember, the trouble is you can retract the gantryway and break your airlock. The problem is you are attached below the gantryway to the hull of the ship with that tow umbilical, and that's the part that needs to be manually released because it was manually attached.
Why don't you have Samson bring us down an EVA suit in case we need it.
Why don't
Oh
they-
wait, it's probably right there at the airlock.
It's right there at the airlock.
Why would it be?
It's within the short walking.
Yeah.
Of the gantry.
Yeah. Okay.
Couldn't we just, I don't know, shut the door and fly this to our normal space?
We can't move the ship.
Well, no, we could, but it's illegal.
No,
And
we can't.
Yeah, we can.
We can't.
If this
We can't move
ship
the
won't
ship.
move when it's attached.
And we're attached
Right,
to the boat. Well,
Right.
if we
But
broke
if
the
we
token,
if we break contact with the ship, we can leave.
Yes.
Yes.
We're just not going to because it's
No,
illegal.
I meant tugging the big ship.
we
Oh
can't.
no,
we
it
can't.
literally won't move. Very Brutus question of you.
That's the physics problem we kept going over that the Sins have been talking about, is that we can't figure out why we can't move it, because with the map we can put together, we should be able to tug it, but the engines can't move it.
And the mass of the ship would
Aliens.
have to be off scale of anything, any elements that you guys know. The mass of that ship would have to be
That needs to be
completely
the
off
thumb.
the charts.
Yeah.
The thumbnail.
The
to
thumbnail.
Aliens.
Just take our,
Yeah, it's
our
a
fate
thumbnail. I
and
know
we'll
technology.
make it green and then just change fate day.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's alien, but and then it just brings it up from the bottom of the screen.
But it's for sure aliens. All right, so yeah, I think we got a plan. Let's just set it in motion.
For our scavenger hunt, I filmed a little short video of me playing this game with that guy.
Well, fun.
And he got mad at me because he fumbled a roll. And the predator shot him and pinned him against the wall with a net, which is what happened to that one, why he has those scars. And he stormed off mad. And I called him a big space baby. Like, I'm not making fun of your scars, you big space baby.
So I take it Jed is going to lead then?
Yep, that's one of the warriors.
Okay.
It is.
Marching orders, Jed, Mizumi.
Yes.
Oh, you can go
Oh, no,
first.
that's a stalker.
You've got better sensory capabilities and
Stalker
hostile
stuff.
environments, and you're
Exhaust pipes.
tougher
Yeah.
than me.
If that's your order, I will gladly go first.
The two scouts for the unit are typically Vibes and Angel,
Well, there you go.
just so you know.
Just like always then, Vibes?
I got you.
I should
Man, this is so stupid.
It's not the most logical course of action.
Check radio contact at that 30-meter mark. See if our radios are just maybe better.
Enter.
If they go out, see if you can lollipop communication back by leaving someone there.
We'll go.
Cool. So Vibes and I take up the front positions, rifle out, readied. Next to Vibes, we go down the gantry.
It's better this way.
Yeah, you get to the gantry. The airlock is sealed at the other end. And as you're walking, you hear, he's talking low enough that the radio doesn't catch him.
She's the
Petting
motion,
motion.
no motion
Okay.
thingy.
Okay.
The tracker of motion. There we go.
There's two pips of recent movement right in front of you.
There's two movement in front. Oh.
Your teammates.
Angel and Vibes are standing in front.
But you know it's working.
Good test.
Okay. Yeah. It's just, this is so stupid. This is so dumb. But we're not ever gonna get the hell out of here if we don't find these assholes, and we can't just sit here.
They're probably all sitting inside jerking each other off. It'll be an easy.
Such coarse
Oh,
language
man,
from
I
a
don't
lady
wanna
bot.
see that either, Angel. Come on.
It's not the worst thing that we will have seen, Vibes. Let's make it easy.
All right.
So then I'll open the airlock.
Nothing.
All right.
How much, if we could just set up a can of compressed air
Would you-
under her chair, they could like randomly go. Oh,
I know, right?
Find a motion tracker for her? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I
thought
gave
you
her
were-
so she can hold it like a
Oh,
fucking
okay.
motion.
I thought you found something that actually did the
The
blitz.
soundboard.
I thought
all right,
he was looking
so-
for one.
Airlock pops
Mhm.
and rolls inward, and it feels for a moment like there's really low air pressure on the other side, but then you guys physically feel the air pressure almost immediately come up. And just on the other side of where the passageway goes through the hull and into the ship, lights come on, and you see the floor. It doesn't move a lot. It's more just like a change in like the surface, just like it scintillates a little bit. But
Mhm.
it looks like it
Oh,
smooths
no.
out in front of you.
Okay.
And Vibes looks at you, and it's something he said before, so you know it's a term of endearment because you guys scout on your own.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the door, and he's like, "Left or right this time, Hotbot?"
Right.
He crosses over to the left and takes the left side of the hall.
And so are we walking like with a bit of space to each other, or are we doing like a back to back thing?
Well, it's a real narrow passage through where the airlock is.
Mhm.
It's really, really. There you go. The airlock.
Doesn't work.
Just open.
Oh no, it's letting us know that he just did movement.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait,
If
what?
you turn on sound, will it ping at us?
Okay, let's turn the sound down.
It sounds already down because I don't want to hear whatever it does.
Wait, does it actually? How is it sensing,
I don't know.
Magic.
or is it just
Yeah.
randomly doing it?
It's Apple Magic.
Yeah, whatever the hell. Oh, that's so creepy.
You should turn it up. I want to hear if it does beep really quick, just out of curiosity.
We should find it on a soundboard since she
I've been
has one
looking for the
out.
last 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm really scared
You
somebody's
looking
gonna
for
pop out. Someone leave
No.
that.
There's a.
So yeah, you guys get through the airlock, and it's really weird. It doesn't look like. It looks more utilitarian than like a disembark or embark type airlock. But it functions. It's got no seal on the side of the ship. It just allows access. Your door opens, and then the part of the ship hull moves to let you in. It's about 15 feet of hull that you sort of move through a small tunnel to get into the main hallway. And when you step into the main hallway, the bottom of it is about 17 and a half feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
And then the walls just curve up and are close to 30 feet high at the top. And you're actually guessing that this hallway, because it stretches out away from where you are, down into the ship, is probably the majority of that entire section. There's room for mechanics, and there may be other levels and stuff, but you think this is the majority of that entire arm.
And it's pretty well lit.
Yeah, well, it's lit low, and the light, everything seems to have like an electric blue tint to it. The lights aren't bright white.
Because I have my low light goggles, can I see anything better here?
It's not dark enough for you to need them.
Okay.
The light levels are bright enough for you to see comfortably. It's
Motion tracker.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that's.
Sounds like footsteps.
Wait, that?
That's not how the tracker sounds.
Yeah,
And then detected.
That's what I was waiting for, yeah.
That's a bad sound.
That's a very bad sound. So like as we're moving forward and stuff through it, like is there control panels anywhere? Am I seeing like
Not that you can see. There are a couple of places in the wall that look like, for lack of a better term, it's a separation of material, but it looks like overlapping like chitin or natural armor.
okay.
And next to most of those are close to 6 feet off the ground. These large, somewhat oval, slick black panels that have some raises and some indents and some slots in them. They look like some kind of control panel maybe, and they're next to each of the doors, but they start at like chin level and go up.
As soon as we hit the 30-meter mark or the mark, Angel would immediately try and contact Cutter.
There is communication, but it is really broken.
Cutter?
It comes through pretty staticky. Yeah.
Cutter?
Yeah.
We're at the mark. Comms are already seeming to degrade. We're gonna have to try and switch and see if we can, what did he call it? Lollipop it back?
Yeah, kind of like a daisy chain. How about you, or we can leave someone, a little bit farther back, and then we can basically relay, or try to relay comm stuff and see if that works. And if it doesn't, we're just gonna have to do what Marines do.
Do you want to stay behind Zumi then?
Yeah, I'll stay in the back, I guess, because you've got the motion tracker, and our two best and brightest are up front.
And yeah, you guys when you move into the hallway, it's like it's really interesting to see firsthand, but it's exactly like they said. The floor looks like a matte black sand, but every time you step, it's perfectly flat, solid, level, and you've got traction. And there's not a huge change. It doesn't shift or anything. It just seems like it just solids up anywhere it needs to for you.
And once we reorganize the marching order, do we get a better signal or not?
You and who's second?
Zumi.
So you and Zumi
See.
can communicate with each other, and you can communicate back to Cutter.
Uh-huh.
So you can relay that way, it seems, but that's the best you can do. And inside the ship with direct line of sight, it looks like you actually get about 80 to 100 feet, but this hallway looks like it's a lot longer than that.
Yeah, no, that's going to be clunky as fuck. That's not going to do us any favors.
No.
We
Well-
need more Marines.
Well, Corporal, looks like we're going to have to go do this the old-fashioned way. We'll, I don't know, send a smoke signal once we find them. Not actually sending a smoke signal, but
Right.
there's no way we can do comms.
All right.
Got you on the other side.
Yeah. Remember what I said.
Do we want to leave the airlock open so if we hit shooting we can go in?
No.
Okay.
Corpus just wants to shoot stuff.
Are one of you gonna walk down there and close it?
Oh, I didn't know you guys left it open.
We did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll walk down there and close it.
So
You are probably the only one that notices, because not only is it off the hallway, but it's behind you guys. You see that there's apparently no discussion.
Sorry.
Boom.
Fix all these volumes.
And
Okay.
then on the inside hull, it also shuts and hides where you were.
Okay.
Well, the walls have a really strange, almost organic property.
So does this mean we're not going to be able to find the airlock when we come back? How long do our flares
I don't like
last?
that answer.
You should just go open
Uh,
the fucking door.
Flares usually burn for what, 30 minutes?
Google it.
I have flashlights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could leave a flashlight. Just leave a flashlight on the ground on here because we know that this is in theory where the door was.
Okay.
It's a good idea. I'm thinking Abe Lincoln.
So as we
What?
reach, as you know, after we take care of that,
Oh, yeah.
and we're walking and we see one of these first like chin high panels, I'm just gonna break away for just a second. I mean, not really moving that much, but Angel wants to look at it and see if there is a possible way to interface with it.
Give me a Comtech check with a 6-die penalty.
A 6 die. I'm also going to ask. Well, since we're probably waiting for them to get the flashlight and everything, I'm gonna look at Vibes and say, Vibes, want to check this with me really quick and see if there's any way that we can access what might resemble a computer system.
You think this is tech?
It seems like some kind of tech. I'd appreciate it.
Shit, yeah. Let's see what we can do.
Okay. So that's gonna be with a 6-die penalty, 1 and then 1.
Could be all you need.
You got this.
No successes.
There's just, it doesn't respond to you, so you're really not sure what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You are, after fiddling with it, pretty certain that this is some kind of interface. It just makes absolutely no sense.